Let's rank some nu metal bands. Let me preface this by saying this is not my favorite genre of music, which is blasphemy if you know my age, because I was in high school when this stuff was in its prime. I don't think I could ever relate to this genre. I always felt like a lot of these bands kind of took themselves a little bit too seriously, but nonetheless, it's back. Somehow, it's back in style. People are a lot of these bands are back on tour again. They're releasing new music. And it's here, man. It's not going away. As soon as I thought it was gone, here we are. So, I have YouTube ready because I'm probably going to have to refresh my memory on some of these bands. Definitely a few of them. So this should be a little bit of a nostalgic ride for definitely me and hopefully you as well. So, we're going to start. By the way, also, I picked a tier list that only had about 20 bands on it because there were a few on tiermaker.com where there were just way too many. There were like 50 bands, and I'm like, I honestly can't even remember half of these. So these look to be like some big hitters. I think a couple are missing if I'm just looking real quick. Yeah, there's a few missing here that probably, maybe I'll mention if I could think of it at the end of the video. But regardless, this is what we're working with, and let's get started. Right off with Deftones. Now, I think I know most of Deftones' singles anyway. I think I can remember them, but let's just let's check it out real quick if I could type properly here. Deftones. Let's just see what pops up first. Oh, here we go. 51 million views. Be quiet and drive. Same riff. Look, I understand. So, Deftones have some hardcore fans, and a lot of people really like this band, both when they were out and even nowadays. People would still go back and listen to this band. So, I think while I'm doing this tier list, I'm gonna be respectful, and even if I'm not a huge fan of the band, still kind of acknowledge, I guess, their impact on music and fans alike. So I never hated Deftones. I just never really liked them either. I know that they actually I like that they have a unique sound. You know when you're listening to the Deftones, they don't sound like other nu metal bands or any other band for that matter. I think, considering, you know, I think they did pretty well selling records. I know they had a solid fan base. I would put Deftones probably a B tier. I already know that this video's got to get comments because you hate or love these bands, and some of these bands have some passionate fans. Okay, let's go to Korn. I don't even need to listen to any Korn songs, because I actually know this band really well. Let's do it anyway, just for fun. Let's do... Oh, this is the best one. Just wait for it. Man, when you got the camera rolling, you realize how long this intro is. Are you ready? Okay, Korn is one of the bands I mentioned it earlier that I've probably grown to respect now years later. I was probably too cool for school when Korn was out originally, and I wasn't. I'm going to be honest, I wasn't into it then. But I've definitely now. I see it. I see the appeal. I see the influence that they had, without a doubt. There's a lot of bands out nowadays that would call out Korn as a major influence on them. They were the most unique band at the time. Nobody sounded anything like them. In fact, I don't know if any bands sound anything. Obviously, there's a couple bands that have come out since then that have very closely replicated their sound, but it sounded like Korn. So, without a doubt, Korn has to be an S tier nu metal band. If it lets me move it. I have problems with this tier list thing. Okay, here we go. Alright. Slipknot. Never was into Slipknot again. I feel like I'm going to say that a lot for these bands. Let's listen to a track. It's actually a cool riff. I never liked this chorus. I don't know where they were going with the chorus. The opening riff and the verse was pretty cool. Look, I know a lot of people like Slipknot, and I can't get over the masks, man. Anyway, I think I gotta put Slipknot in the A tier. Just because I know they are a big band. They sold plenty of records. I know if you're a fan of the genre, you're probably a fan of Slipknot. So there you go. Slipknot's in the A tier. Let's go to Limp Bizkit. Alright, might as well. Let's just listen to a little bit of all these bands. I already know where I'm putting Limp Bizkit. I think it's pretty obvious. Let's go. Everybody's favorite.
It's just one of those days where you don't want to wake up. Everybody sucks. You don't really know why, but you want to justify. If someone's head off, no human contact. And if you interact, your life is on contract. Your best bet is to stay away, mother. It's just one of those days. It's all about the he says, she says, fools. I think you better quit, let it slip, or you'll be leaving with a fat lip. It's all about the he says, she says, fools. I think you better quit talking that. It's just one of those days.
Alright, we're putting Bizkit in the S tier. I think that's pretty obvious. How could you not put them up there? I gotta say, now that, you know, I mentioned earlier that a lot of these bands took themselves too seriously. I think that was actually a saving grace of Limp Bizkit. I don't think they ever did. They always looked like they were up there having fun. I feel like Limp Bizkit is gonna have a bigger resurgence than they've already have. I think they already kind of have a little bit of one, but like Creed is going through a huge resurgence right now because there's a lot of memes going around. There's sports teams listening to Creed in the locker room. I feel like that exact thing is going to happen to Limp Bizkit, like any day now. Okay, Disturbed. I don't hate Disturbed, actually, especially their earlier stuff. Let's check out some Disturbed. Let's go. It's something deeper than Down with the Sickness. Oh yeah, they did have this cover of Sound of Silence that I liked as well. Come on, is More Than Down with the Sickness. Let's skip to the music.
You walk out like a woman in suffering. Won't leave me mother, none to tell me why. You come alone, leaning on my bus, saving the moment, leaving me broken another time. You come on like a bloodstain.
Wow, this one's nostalgic. Probably even more than the others. Probably because I haven't heard this band in a while. Yeah. Cool, there's High School. I'm gonna put Disturbed in the A tier. They were tight. Very tight. Powerful vocals. I think they do have some cool things about them, so I think that's a good spot for them. Alright, let's go to Kitty. Dude, we're gonna have to listen to a Kitty song. I know Kitty, and I can't remember. Remember his song right now. Brackish. I remember this video. Oh. Whoa. This hits way harder than I remember. Actually, big rag guitar. Yeah, see, okay, that's what I remember of Kitty. Oh, I get it. Alright, it's... I mean... You know, they're representing the ladies in a genre very much filled by dudes. I'd like to rank them higher. I don't think it's fair to give them anything higher than a C. I mean, it's alright, I guess. A lot of the... I don't know. It's kind of annoying. Coal Chamber. I didn't realize Coal Chamber was on this list. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Let's listen. Oh God. Let's get into it. I like the guitar tone. Oh boy. God, they look so nu metal. I didn't realize how much like White Zombie they sounded. I gotta say, even though I'm not a huge fan of this genre, it is bringing a smile to my face. I think Coal Chamber... I mean, they had the look. I don't think they had enough hits. And I know somebody's going to correct me on that and be like, they had 3 hits. And I'm like, all right. Let me put it this way. I'd rather listen to them over Kitty, but probably not as much as Deftones. So they're either a low B or a high C. Let me look at the rest of the bands here. All right, I'm going to go high C. High C. Linkin Park! We all know Linkin Park. Let's get into it. Alright, we all know this stuff. So, Linkin Park's an interesting one because I feel like I honestly don't remember them actually fading away well, until it all came to an end, I guess, but rip. They definitely are going in the S tier, I think. I think you have to put them up there. I think they've been influential. I mean, they've done soundtracks to movies. A lot of these bands ended up somewhere on a soundtrack at some point, but definitely Linkin Park obviously sold enough records. They have a ton of fans, and definitely S tier, I think. Mudvayne, dude. Mudvayne. This freaking video. This is what I'm talking about. I zoned out for a second. I was staring at the screen and I zoned out. I zoned out in the middle of recording this. I'm not a fan of this band. Sorry if you are. Go for it. That's all you. Having said that, I can't possibly put them D tier because I know that I think they at least won a Grammy at one point. Somebody was buying their records. I don't know anybody. A lot of the bands that are already on here, maybe with the exception of, you know, Kitty and Cold Chamber, like, people will go back and listen to the S through B tier so far. I don't know anybody going back and listening to Mudvayne, so they're going to be low. I'm going to put them low. Well, I'll put them low C because at one point, I guess they were a thing. Okay. Godsmack. I'm not laughing at Godsmack. I'm laughing at my view of Mudvayne. Godsmack. I Stand Alone. This was the big one. Let's do I Stand Alone. That riff does hit. It hits hard. Oh, yeah, this was for the Scorpion King. So Godsmack always got a lot of flack because people thought they ripped off Alice in Chains too much. I never thought they sounded that much like Alice in Chains. There were a few tracks where you could probably hear the influence, and a lot of people say they got the name of the band from even Alice in Chains. And I mean, I think there's a difference between ripping off a band's sound and taking a strong influence. And I think if anything, Godsmack probably just had a strong influence from Alice in Chains. I'm a huge Alice in Chains fan, so maybe that's the side of Godsmack I actually like. So I don't hate this band. I think actually their earlier stuff was definitely better. I'm trying to remember. I heard a song by them not too long ago where I didn't like it. Crying Like a Bitch. That one was fun. I really couldn't even tell you what it was. But I feel like their newer stuff got, I don't know, sensitive, softer. I don't know. It just didn't do it for me. And I'm talking about something that came out within the past 5 years. Again, heard it on the radio, didn't like it. So Godsmack, maybe at one point were better. Again, not enough big enough of a fan to really know their entire catalog or anything. So with that said, I'm gonna put them in the B tier. I don't think that I probably do like them better than Slipknot, but I don't think that they have had the same impact as the bands I've put in the A tier, so they're high B. All right, Stained. I have a weird opinion of Stained. Let's listen to a song first. Alright, yeah, like Stained, I think my problem with them was just that, like, they never smiled. They never looked like they were having that much fun playing their music. I know a lot of people like this band. And don't get me wrong, the music's not terrible. Like, the melodies are really catchy. A lot of the songs are pretty good. The problem is, like, there was no ups for them. It was always just downs. Like, it's always raining on them. Everything's painful. It's sad. It's like, I don't know, stereotypical millennial music, I guess. Where I feel like a song like this would have hit harder if they had something like fun or happy before that. You know, it's a roller coaster ride, except this roller coaster never went up. It just kind of coasted along the bottom. I'm looking at the right side here. Puddle of Mudd is a perfect example of just like a D or F tier new metal band. Chevelle. These bands are not on this tier list. I think I saw Saliva earlier as well. Saliva would have been a perfect example of a D-list new metal band. Those are probably more fun at this point. Okay. Yeah, so Stained, I mean, I know, God, a lot of people are a big fan of this band. Sold a ton of records. Aaron Lewis could have smiled a little bit more. I'm going to put them, let's smack them right in the middle of the B tier here. Because I'd probably still rather listen to them over any of the C tiers, so I think that's a fair spot for them.